Hey there guys, this is Reckles with Want to Buy Gold, and Torghast, Tower of the Damned, just came out on the Shadowlands Alpha. So rather than just talk about all the stats and numbers of what it is, I decided let's walk you through some of my testing. Let's walk you through a couple of my runs, and maybe you can learn along that way, and it'll probably be more fun. So let's get into it. I decided to start off on easy mode. I'm humble. We'll just baby steps. On easy mode, you start at level 1 and you go to level 12. Normal mode, you go from level 13 to 24, and hard mode, you go from 25. I guess just up, but each floor has just a bunch of enemies. There are some jars or spider eggs or whatever that you can spin around in a circle, kill them all, and you get these you get this currency. Now, it's not clear right away what the currency's for, but we'll get into it. We'll talk about it as we go. But then, like 2 or 3 times during each floor, you'll kill an enemy or a pot or whatever, and you'll get a blood orb, anima orb thing. You click it, and you get to choose from a couple of different options of little upgradey things. And these can be as easy and simple as, like, 5% haste, or they can give you access to multiple talents from one of your trees, or they can buff your spells and abilities in fun ways, kind of like Azerite Power or Legion Legendaries do. I chose to do this as a Discipline Priest. I'm not a great Discipline Priest. I'm not Automatic Jack or Taliesin, but I can do things. I can smite things. But I also wanted to do Disc Priest because they're not like absurdly tanky, and they're also like not big damage dealing turdy like machines. They're middle of the road, and I kind of wanted to see how something that's middle of the road would fare. Well, I was having trouble killing things, right? Well, right away, I got an option that let my Shadow Word Pain, the first Shadow Word Pain I cast on an enemy, it crit. So like, okay, cool. I can deal with that. And so then, rather than getting haste or mastery, I decided to go with crit damage. I dealt a lot of damage really quickly, but then I died. So the next couple of upgrades that I chose as I gathered more and more of these orbs, I decided to go with things that buffed my survivability. I totally lucked out, and I got like 5 stacks of this thing that gives me 20% health. Or 20% more max health. So I went from like starting this dungeon as a 20,000 health priest to having like 45,000 health by about halfway through, and then something magical happened. Well, that currency, you know that currency you get along the way? Well, you can trade it into a vendor, and the vendor can just give you access to more traits and things, and you can just buy blood. You can trade them in for just blood orbs from him. So I traded all those in, and suddenly I was really strong, and one of the orbs that I traded in for gave me the ability where anytime I cast a spell, I leech 10% of my max HP from that enemy. So it deals 10% of my max HP, it deals damage to that enemy, and it heals me. That was one of the options, but I was paying attention and like, wait a second, I have 2-3 times as much health as I normally do. This is gonna be gross. So suddenly I'm doing like a lot of damage, and everything's critting for more than it normally would. And then there are these little guys. You know, you've got the different covenants, Maldraxxus, Ardenweld. You find one of them, they're trapped, and you go and you find their friend and you reunite them. So usually they're behind like a really hard enemy or something, or like tucked away in a corner. And when you reunite them, you get a special upgrade. Well, this special upgrade was from Ardenweld, the Fey Druid area, and it said double your HP, double your max HP. I'd already tripled my max HP at this point, so now I had 120,000 health, and I was dealing, essentially, you know how broken Corrupted Gear got near the end, like Infinite Stars and Echoing Void, how that was like really busted because it dealt 1% of your health to everything around you? Well, imagine if Every time you cast an ability, it dealt 100% of your health to everything nearby. That's what was going on. That's what I had built into. And so, like, I would walk up to a group of enemies and just Holy Nova and just explode them. I would walk up to an elite, Shadow Word Pain, Shadow Word Pain, Shadow Word Pain, and suddenly I started realizing that my normal routine of Shadow Word Pain, Penance, Smite, 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 that was wasting global cooldowns when I could just be Shadow Word Pain, Shadow Word Pain, Shadow Word Pain. And so suddenly I had my rotation changed because of decisions I'd made along the way. And I was annihilating things. It was so much fun. And so I had this little build where I'm just Shadow Word Paining all over the place, just pain, 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 pain. And I kill the final boss in 6 Shadow Word Pains. It's this huge guy, had like 200,000 health. 5 casts of my like opener dot, and he was dead. It was fantastic. So, easy was easy. I know how this works now. Let's go do this. Let's go do the same thing over on heroic mode. Nope. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. You know what we skipped? We skipped normal mode. We went straight to, we should go back. So round 2, you understand how the dungeon works. You go through each floor, there's a little side mission, there's some pots, there's some enemies to kill. You buff yourself up slowly, you create a build, and you just build up max health, and then you deal max health % damage. Right away, I noticed that I'd made a mistake. In between, when I started my easy clear, did my hard mode attempt, and started my normal mode, I never repaired. And you can't mount up inside the dungeon. My gear was broken when I started this normal mode, and like, I'm testing this and exploring every nook and cranny, so this dungeon potentially will take an hour to get through. Oh no, my Shadow Word Pains aren't going to be dealing damage because I'm not going to have any max health. What am I going to do? Well, there are these things called maw rats. They're just little rats. They come in packs of 3. And right away, I got 2 stacks of an ability that when I kill a maw rat, it explodes for 3,000 damage. Now, on normal mode, these enemies, just the normal enemies, had like 20 to 30,000 health. The maw rats had like 5,000 health or whatever. One of the maw rats explodes for 3, but it's 2 stacks, so it's 6,000, and they only have 5,000 health. So if I kill one of them, then it's gonna explode and kill the other 2, and then that's 6,000, 6,000, 6,000. So I'm exploding for like 20k damage on these enemies that only have 20 or 30k health. Okay, cool. We have a build. Even if my gear's broken, I can do 5,000 damage to this little critter. Okay, so new plan. Maw rats. They're 3. Now we're thinking 3008. Shadow Word Pain, that's so 2000 late. Alright, so we're going through, gathering up 3 maw rats, killing one of them, exploding, and then just kind of picking off anyone left over. I was still kind of struggling, but I came across another upgrade that said when I mind control something, it deals 50% more damage. I forgot mind control exists. I'm a bad priest. I'm like an okay priest. I know how to cast penance and how to do power word shield, but I don't know. I'm bad priest. So the old plan was to run into a pack of enemies, gather everything up, and then Shadow Word Death one of the rats. New plan, mind control one of the harder enemies, use him to gather up all the rats, and then beat up against one of the other harder enemies, and then when he dies or mind control's over, then kill a rat. Everything's already grouped up, everything explodes, we're good, and now the higher health guys still die. Even with that, though, I was struggling on elites. They just had too much health. Well, then I got an upgrade that whenever I mind controlled a rat, every other rat would have babies, and they have 2 to 5 babies in the litter. So suddenly this like 20,000 HP bomb is now 100,000 HP bomb, and I can whittle all the elites down to half health anyway through mind control. And even if the elites don't have damage. Like I can shield myself through a bunch of rats, so I can just mind control a bunch of rats and then drag them up to a big pack of elites where there are more rats, and then I can kill one of the rats and just everything explodes. It was super fun. And like, okay, I ended up not clearing the normal mode because I ran up into a pack where it was mechanical enemies, where I couldn't mind control them and there weren't any rats around, and my gear was completely red and I died. Whatever. Three things. One, how excited am I right now? I had a ball. When I started Torghast, when I first heard about it, I was like pumped because yay, new features, but like, it's kind of just like an extended version of Horrific Visions, right? Or like, so, and like playing it was kind of boring and kind of all looked the same and it was kind of drab, you know, like ICC is pretty, but it's just kind of dreary, and this wasn't even as like blue and ice themed as ICC was. It was just, I wasn't super pumped when I first started, but by the end, I was having a f***ing ball. And it wasn't even because I was powerful. In fact, the opposite. So Blizzard could absolutely give everyone infinite eye level and make all the enemies have 1 health. But think about that. Would that be fun to play? Absolutely not. That would be boring as hell. No one would enjoy that. The fact is, like, the design of this is that it's actually pretty difficult. You know, depending on where you enter, it's more difficult than others, but like it's hard, and then you make the choice of how you want to improve. You can be creative, you can be strategic, you can I paid attention to what buffs I already had. I had max health buffs, so let's take something that deals percentage health damage, and I annihilated things. But it's not that I was powerful by the end that made it fun. It was that I felt like I had earned that power that made it so fun and so ridiculous compared to everything else we'd been through. Number 2, the second thing, how different are these two builds? Like, in the first attempt, even after I'd buffed myself up, I was still going through trying to do my rotation, and slowly over time I realized that I just needed to press Shadow Word Pain. Like, I just needed as many GCD instant cast abilities as possible, and that's how I would clear this, and it worked. In the second time, I knew that I couldn't do that. I needed to stay away, and I needed to do other things, so I used mind control to create infinite rat landmines. I think that was my strategy. I think that's a thing priests do now. So how different are those? Like, you can talk about replayability or whatever, but like, I want to go back in. I want to try this on a different class. I killed things with mind control. I completely forgot that was a spell. What other spells out there that'd be super fun to discover? So the third thing I'm excited for is that there are going to be people who just take this way too seriously. And I promise you, there are going to be like optional talent tier lists out there, and people are going to recommend that while you're doing your thing, you have this tier list open on a second monitor. Guys, I created a build that worked, that cleared through the whole thing by using mind control to create infinite rat landmines, and that's how I killed bosses. Like, have fun with it and be creative. I have a sneaking suspicion that there's limitless possibilities to this. Don't worry about tier lists. It's fine. But gold making parting notes things. There are going to be crafted legendaries coming up. I got what appears to be about a third of a legendary worth of crafting reagents per full run. I got 20 freed souls and coalescing essences, about 70 coalescing essences per run. If you remember from our first introduction to Shadowlands video, there's kind of an upgrade talent tree thing there. And so you use it for that, but like, those numbers are going to change. Those numbers don't even mean anything right now because the system isn't built. And I got 2 boss drops which I don't know what they are. They're just placeholders right now, but I assume they're going to be like gear. There are 2 pieces of gear that you can get per run. They're going to be 2 hard bosses in each halfway through and right at the end. That's it. So, I have defeated Torghast. I am the champion of Shadowlands, which makes me kind of cool buddies with Sylvanas now. So if you don't go down and hit the like button on this video and subscribe while you're down there, I'm gonna send her out. I'm gonna send Sylvanas out, and she's gonna get you. Ooh, she's got that banshee wail, and thank you so much for watching, guys. I had a blast testing Torghast out, and I'm so excited to get back in there, and so excited for Shadowlands to come live. So, like the video, subscribe, do all that stuff. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day, guys. Good luck, and happy gold making.